Hello there. I am going to teach you today a very simple, very useful tool of how to connect to your intuition. So connecting to our intuition is so important because it is our very best internal guidance system. So our intuition is in our heart, is in our bodies, is not in our head and is not in our mind. So we can get a lot of information from our minds, from the way we perceive and see the world. Our minds are very good at solving problems, but they think very linearly. They think in straight lines and they have a very limited perception of what's possible. It's based mostly on our experience and what we've been taught intellectually. Whereas if we tap into our intuition, which is part of the great creation of the universe, so many more things are possible. We take away that linear processing and we are open to the infinite possibilities that we all know deep down are available to us. So our intuition, that connection to our higher self, to our guides, to the universe, to the divine or God, whatever you call that thing that is bigger than us, that is what our intuition is informed by. And having that connection and being able to hear what our intuition is telling us is so important because it gives us these magical, miracle insights that we could never find in our very useful but very limited mind and mental space. So I hope I've encouraged you to connect to your intuition. I know for me, really learning and developing and getting better and better at connecting to my intuition, listening to what it's telling me, and then taking action on that has been utterly life-changing. So enough chit-chat, let's get to work. So the thoughts that we have in our mind is a very different thing, a very different sound, a very different feeling to our intuition. The thoughts that we have in our mind are usually quite loud, they usually race ahead, we have a million thoughts a minute, they're chit. There's usually often quite a lot of anxiety in there, maybe some negativity, there's just all kinds of stuff going on. Our intuition is very subtle. It's much more energetic. We can think of it almost like a whisper. So in order to hear what our intuition is telling us, we need to really take a moment and tune in. Our intuition is not going to shout at us like our mind does, so we need to take some moment to get quiet and tune in. So this little tool I learned from one of my teachers, who is called Sonia Tully, and she is incredible. You should totally check her out. She taught me this really quick tool that I have used in so many different situations, from times when I was feeling super anxious and just needed some guidance and some clarity and some reassurance, to times when I just needed to tune in and get some creative ideas. So how it works is we first of all speak out loud everything that your mind is saying. So you give voice to whatever's going on in your mind. So if you have something that you're worried about, or something that you would like to know about, or something that you're feeling anxious about, you just speak it out. Hearing our own voice is very powerful. And once we've done that, you take your hand and put it on your heart. So connecting physically to that heart space, that place where the intuition lives. And we say, my intuition says. And then you allow whatever comes up to just come out of your mouth. And don't judge it. It might sound crazy. It usually often does. If it's your intuition, it might not sound logical. It might not sound practical. It might not even make sense to you in that moment. That's absolutely fine. We're not judging here. We're not questioning whether it is or isn't your intuition. We're just playing. So to start with, pick something that is not super serious. Because if we start with something that's really massive, like perhaps buying a house, oh, there's so much pressure, so much money. So we start off with something little and choose that little thing that you would like some guidance about. And first of all, allow your mind to speak and say, my head says, da 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 da, the mind will speak. And then put your hand on your heart, get grounded in your body. Just that putting your hand on your heart connects you to that heart center. And then say, my intuition says, and allow whatever comes up to come up. So have a play with this little tool. See how you get on. No judgment, no worrying about whether it is or isn't your intuition. And don't worry if at the beginning it feels like nothing's coming up. Just keep going, keep practicing. And it's a really useful tool to get more connected with your intuition, to hear those little whispers from your soul, to guide you in those different directions that allow miracles to appear in your life. Sending love.